So hey everyone, uh, another vlog today. My notes are a little outdated, but I'll kind of try and wing it a little bit. Um, the Ursa Major Awards, I think the voting is coming up soon. I don't know how that's going to go. I don't know if I should really expect anything or not, but we'll see what happens. I sort of remember it's supposed to be around March, but fingers crossed, I guess. I don't know. I always feel weird about promoting myself, but anyway, it would be nice if something happens. If not, we'll find out. But either way, I'm still working on a lot of things. Let's see. Writing news. I am currently working on two active projects at the moment. I am up to editing the last of the 12 Blue Moon short stories that will be a part of this collection. This one is one I wrote a long time ago, one of the many that I hadn't really, I don't remember what happens other than just, it's kind of like it's one of those, weird scenario where it's like I know I wrote it and I just don't remember a lot of the details. So it's been interesting for me as well. I've kind of been able to see like the reader perspective, but it's going. I think it'll be good, and once it's done, I don't know. It'll probably. I don't know if I'll have somebody look at it or if I'll just move it into the publishing phase because, I don't know. I mean, I think it's as close to perfect as I can get it for now. There's a possibility somebody might see something I missed, maybe some final tweaks I have to make. I don't know, but that'll all be part of I guess, the final stage of the process. Once I finish editing the Blue Moon anthology, I'm going to start going into Winterfall 2 and editing and reviewing and making tweaks to that as well. And hopefully that will be able to be done sometime by the following winter. It's my hope to release Winterfall 2 in winter. Earliest possible date is late December, 12/21, which I think is the first day of winter. If not, but if it's not ready by then, I have 90 days to get it out during that winter span. But I do want to try and get it out during winter, so it may be a 2026 release, maybe a 2027 release. We'll just kind of see how things go because the way I do things currently, it's like I don't, I mean, some of these things I have like current deadlines, but they're looking reasonably like I can hit them, like the Vanguard project, which is coming out in July. I forget how the camera looks when I'm doing that. Is all set to go. It's pretty much just ready to have a date set into the release. So that's definitely happening on July 8th, which is the approximate anniversary of the date of the UFO crash in real life, or as such things may be determined. Let's see, the Blue Moon book. I'm working on some stuff for the cover, which is going to be over the next several months, and I also want to release that sometime during Spooky Month. It doesn't really matter particularly when. Anytime between 1 and October 31st, 10/1 and 10/31. So it'll be released during October sometime. And whenever that happens, again, I think we're pretty on target with that considering I'm editing the last story now, and publication should not take 7 months. So fingers crossed. Hopefully by the time it's published and the cover will be ready, and all I have to do is just combine them together, and there we are. We will see, I guess. Let's see, what else is there? Let's see, I am also working on the Wandering Roads, which is the Lucy Kate story, which got slotted into the active slot, honestly, because the outline is done, and I am just kind of working on it and working through it, making adjustments as I go. And I mean, so far I think it's going all right. It's one of those ones that I think I'll have to write and look at afterwards and see exactly if there's if it flows the way that I hope it does. Because with Lucy and Kate's story, I've kind of done a structure where it alternates chapters between the two protagonists. One chapter is Kate, one chapter is Lucy, and then we kind of like bounce between them and see their sides of the story because they're very much like the focus of the story. We'll see how that works out. And once I finish working on Winterfall 2, right now I don't have a story that's particularly immediately ready to slot into the next position, but Wandering Roads is probably going to be the first book of Phase 2. So whatever comes in after would be another book to really released in Phase 2. I would like it to be the next Iridescence, or the first Iridescence book, or the second Blue Moon book, maybe. Um, I do have a Winterfall ready for Phase 2, so there will be Winterfall 3 coming out in Phase 2. The question is when. Um, but mostly it's just finishing these projects in the order that they are available to be worked on and getting them out as quickly as is reasonably possible to do a good job. I would like to try and get one of the other like satellite projects that isn't really connected to a series at this time. Like, Darwin's Forge is still kind of heavily in development because I'm still trying to decide exactly what kind of a story I want it to be. And there's a couple of other projects that right now are just premises or concepts. They're not developed far enough to really be considered something that I would consider to be a workable project at this state, but we will see how that goes. Video news is probably going to be fairly light today. I'm obviously doing a vlog as per usual. I am going to be working on the audio for some other book reviews and some other upcoming releases that hopefully we'll be discussing the upcoming projects with Vanguard and such. So, there'll be more stuff like that to look forward to. I've been debating on, whether or not, what to do about like, Signal videos and such, because, Signal was originally supposed to be, like me talking about, my experiences as a trans person, trans issues and things that I have had, sharing my experiences. And I hesitated a little bit because the first one I released, of course, had some comments on it that didn't thrill me, and not like I didn't expect that, but it also is the fact that I don't really have that much of an audience comparatively. So there's people that do that do a much better job of it, that do have a lot larger audiences than I do. So I kind of wonder if that's even I mean, maybe that's self-defeating because it's like adding my voice to things, but I always also try and do something that I think a lot of people don't do, which is like I try not to talk about things that I don't actually understand. And there's a lot of things that I just don't have the spoons to really know what I'm talking about. So I try not to run my mouth off about things I don't understand. But I mean, there's a lot of things that I've been thinking about, like life lessons I've learned and things like that I don't know, maybe somebody would find useful. It's like I know one video I had made where somebody had made the comment, why is this 5 minutes? It could have been in 30 seconds or something like that. And it's just like, it's, I don't know. It just kind of annoyed me a little bit, just because it's like, yeah, I mean, like, your video is your video. It's like there's people that go on for 20 minutes and it's interesting to listen to. And it's just like, it's just the simple, I guess the simple thing that annoys me about that is just, you don't want to listen to what I have to say, then don't listen. If you don't like how I'm saying it, or you don't like what I'm saying, there are other videos on YouTube. It's just like, you are here because you're looking for my perspective and how I want to talk about it, and forever how long I go on about it. And it's like, if it doesn't interest you, that's fine, go on to another video. It's just like, people just need to realize that they don't have to vocalize every thought that comes into their mind, and they also don't have to watch a video that doesn't click with whatever it is that they're doing. And I mean, I try, I try to be one of those people that keeps an open mind. I try to be empathetic. I try to listen to different perspectives other than my own, and I try to challenge my beliefs from time to time, just to be sure that I know, that I'm not following into like unconscious biases or something. And while I'm on the subject, I do want to say that I do not approve of any of the current political ads that were airing in Texas, in which all three of the Republican candidates for senator fell into Islamophobic comments, which have nothing to do with issues that are going on right now. Not in Texas, not in, it's just, I mean, I don't even know if I'd call it low-hanging fruit at this point. And it's just, it seems like it's just dishonorable, and it's just not something that has anything to do with any of the issues that they should be representing. It's like, I kind of think that, for one thing, I don't like political ads. I've never liked political ads. Most of the time they end up becoming mudslinging, or and maybe they might state things that, they're like, you can't, I mean, say that things are, you can't say things that are true that are not true, that sort of thing. But you can, a lot of these things are phrases like opinions or something, so that you can bypass that sort of thing. But I mean, at the same time, I kind of always feel that political ads, insofar as they are allowed to be a thing, should be about the candidate's stance on things. They should have to stand on their record, whatever that happens to be. And I think that people that point to others and say, this is the reason, they're the problem, that indicates that the candidate doesn't have any real ideas. And that's kind of what I think about that. So sorry to get political for a moment, but that's about as far as I get with such things. Anyhow, books I'm reading. Let's see, I'm still reading Remnant's Hope. I'm still reading Tales from the Guild, Blood and Water. I'm about halfway through that. I'm reading Moondust, which has been pretty good. Guilty Pleasures, which is an Anita Blake vampire hunter novel. Now, by the way, I had read this book when I was in high school, I think, because a friend and I were reading them at the time. And I remember I liked it, so I'm kind of curious if I still like it, because I've forgotten everything that happens in this book, or at least 90% of it, and I kind of want to read it again, just to see, because I used to have the first 10 books, I think, and I think now there's 24, but I'm curious to see how it hits me now. I didn't keep the paperback books just because it was a lot of shelf space, but, if it still holds up, maybe I will pick them up again. Maybe not, I don't know, but a lot of things have changed since then, so I'm kind of curious just to see. Let's see. I'm still reading Off the Beaten Path. I think I'm about 70% of the way through that. So far, that's been a really good book, and I'm looking forward to the other two. I'm reading Induction, which is a corpse novel, which so far has been really good and kind of personally meaningful to me so far, just because it has to do with a trans red wolf in Texas, which kind of speaks to me a lot. And let's see, there's also a book, I think it's called The Big Bad Wolf, which has been sitting on my pile for a while because I really wanted to read that one. And fingers crossed, it's kind of giving me ideas, but I don't know whether or not that's just because it's kind of right up my wheelhouse so far anyway. But we'll see how it goes once I get a little further into the story. Let's see, as far as games I'm playing, I've really been playing a little bit of Trails in the Sky first chapter. I played a little of that. I've been playing a lot of Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown, and I don't really know if there's any particular reason, just because it's kind of a little addictive, but it's been, a fun game about, resource management, about building up your version of Star Trek Voyager, your interior of the ship. You can make different narrative decisions and such. And, I mean, I've been enjoying it. It's been a lot of fun, and you kind of just, you're in Captain Janeway's chair and you're trying to get your ship home, and how you choose to do that and what you choose to do with that is kind of up to you. So so far it's been a lot of fun. I recommend it if you're a fan of the show or if you're a fan of Star Trek. I do need to play a bunch of other games that are on my list, because I really do need to get progress done in a bunch of different games, because I want to play like a lot of games at once and just kind of be working through a variety, kind of like I do with my visual media and my written media. I guess the last quick thing is that I should be releasing a story on Patreon, I think on March 1st. I forget which one offhand. And then it will be released on FA and submitted to Voice of Dog probably about a month after that. And then we will see where we go. I've started an idea that I might work out possibly for Pride Month. I don't know if it'll work or not. But even if it doesn't, it might be a good story just because. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Next Wednesday, I'll probably be going to re-dye my hair in preparation for our upcoming trip to Portland. Fingers crossed, I'm hoping for a nice, chill, zen trip to somewhere I've never been before that will hopefully be nice and calming. So we'll see how that goes. But that's it for now, so I will catch you all in a couple weeks. If you like post-apocalyptic fiction, polar bears, and adventure, check out my newest release, Winterfall, available in paperback and ebook on Amazon. And don't forget about my werewolf novel, Blue Moon.
Thanks for watching, and if you liked it, click the subscribe button and leave a comment below. You can also find me on Twitter and a few other places on the web, or support me via Patreon or Ko-fi. Zebra hugs!